Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Cornell's World Cup podcast show with yours sincerely, Cornell B. And today on Cornell's World Cup podcast show, I'm reviewing the games that were played yesterday and giving my thoughts and my reviews. Make sure you smash a like, leave a comment, and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much to everyone that has subscribed. Let's get into the video. So yesterday, match day 5 took place yesterday with the amount of games that were playing yesterday. The first one that stood out for me, in my views and in my opinion, was the Netherlands versus Japan. Honestly, the Japanese are still unbeaten in World Cup tournaments. This is the reason why I said Japan is not to be underestimated as an underdog. They are the underdogs going into this World Cup right now that has already got underway. The Netherlands, I always know the Netherlands to always go into certain games and start dominating. But obviously, Van Dijk has obviously come out and said that he's going to retire, obviously, after the World Cup and obviously focus on his club in the Premier League, Liverpool. But Japan basically show why they are the underdogs with attacking play, going forward. Only thing I think they need to work on, and I think that's really lacking, is their end product. But when they go forward and they start putting certain teams under pressure, that's why they've been beating teams who European teams in international stage, and it sounds that certain European teams can't really handle them, and that's the thing about it. But a 2-2 draw was the very valuable result. I think some would sit down and say maybe Netherlands should have gone on and won that game. But look, Japan were the better team. The Netherlands obviously got into it. Van Dijk scored the first goal, brilliant header from him. And then of course, Somerville scoring his first goal as the newbie for Holland. And then of course, Japan basically scoring the equalizer and thinking that they were going to go on and obviously find a way to get the winner. But look, at the end of the day, you got to give Japan so much credit on the hard work that they worked on. But, brilliant draw for them. Ivory Coast won their game last night as well against Ecuador. It was a pretty decent game, honestly. Danilo scored the winning goal in the 90th minute, even though Diamande looks like one hell of a player. I ain't going to lie to you for Ivory Coast, and I think he'll be so key. I mean, that's the next new generational team there. So, brilliant result for Ivory Coast against Ecuador. Ecuador don't really look that great, to be fair. I ain't gonna lie. Germany versus Carousel. Germany, obviously, four-time, World Cup champions. We all expect Germany to go in and dominate, as I just said. But honestly, Carousel honestly showed didn't really they showed a little bit of heart, but I think when Germany had scored the goals and from the likes of Musiala and Verts, Kai Havertz, and it was just a walk in the park for them. And honestly, Germany showed the quality going forward. They had some nervousness at the back. I did expect Rudiger to actually play. Please don't get me wrong. But look, I think Germany were the better team. Carousel will obviously feel undone by scoring the equalizer, capitalizing on the mistake. I think they showed that quality. But 7-1, yeah, that's a walk in the park there. And I think Germany will feel confident going into the next game. Sweden versus Tunisia, another game, another outstanding game. Cornell'S and Isaac are absolutely on fire. I think their link-up play, I think, is really going to be something this World Cup, and I think they'll get out their group very, very easily, to be honest. But look, I think the World Cup is showing there is a lot of great talents out there, and especially for like Premier League teams and so on. But look, they showed why they are the quality side and why they are the team that no one doesn't want to be playing, and Isaac is getting back to his best, and obviously got a point to prove to Liverpool to say, well, you didn't see that last season in the Premier League, but you'll see that in the new season when the Premier League returns. And Gorka is doing what he always does by scoring goals, for Arsenal, for Sweden, and of course what he was doing for Bottle Job Arsenal. But at the end of the day, look, listen, there's more games coming up. Obviously, Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia, Spain versus Cape Verde, and Belgium versus Egypt. But let me know what you guys think about the games that took place yesterday, and give me your views and your opinions in the comments box. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment in the comments box. Thank you very much for watching. Up the World Cup.